Welcome to the course. In this lecture, we will be learning about the introduction to statistical analysis with a keen focus on SEM, structural equation modeling, its process and its characteristics, the methods for sampling, its types and application, and the process behind how we can generate a test hypothesis, that is null versus alternate hypothesis, and test statistic methods.
This module focuses on the statistical modeling, its basic parameters and test of hypothesis, and provides the methods available for test statistic. So the outline goes with this: basics, introduction to SEM, structural equation modeling, sampling, test for hypothesis, and the possible and most frequent method used for testing. So first let us see what is the difference among univariate and multivariate analysis. So univariate analysis, it focuses on the evaluation of data corresponding to only one single attribute. So the data is being described and patterns are analyzed based upon the availability of a single determined variable with its tuple of records. Similarly, in multivariate analysis, here we are focusing on more than one variable for doing analysis for pattern evaluation and relationship determination. So here multivariate analysis involves a variety of statistical methods focusing on exploring the patterns that relates with different sort of variables. So as a outcome, we are exploring the relationship that exists between one or two variable in a single or more deterministic pattern of evaluation. So thereby the dimensions across variable and its insights are revealed explicitly. One of the most predominant method that is widely used for multivariate analysis is structural equation modeling. So this method is explicitly used for representing, estimating and testing a network of relationship among a number of defined variables. So possible examples include regression analysis, repeated measure analysis and confirmatory factor analysis. So these are the methods that possibly focus on SEM for determining the relationship that exists among more than one predefined variable. So the main goal and target behind SEM is to understand and to explicitly reveals the patterns that exist between the data which is defined and observed in terms of correlation or covariance. And also the variance is explicitly derived among the attribute that is discussed for determining the relationship. The process behind SEM focus on the following steps. The first is literature analysis for the data that is to be considered for evaluation, and the second, we have to specify a model that is most preferably suitable for the data that is chosen, and the next is identifying the model and the measures for the variables suitably that fits with the model parameters. Then we have to perform descriptive statistics. So here the basic terminologies of descriptive statistics such as standard deviation, variance. Then we have to perform descriptive statistics which explores the level and significance of each and every attribute in the data set. So the minimum value, the maximum value, the mean value, the standard deviation, the mode. So everything that focused on each and every attribute is discussed in order to get a complete view among the variables that is used for determining the relationship. And then we have to estimate the parameters for determining the fitness function. Also, if there is a need for model re-specification with the parameter values, we can do so by adjusting the values focusing on the model parameters. Finally, we can interpret and evaluate the result that is corresponding with the determination of exploring the patterns that exist among the attributes. The next is sampling. So sampling, the way the definition, it focuses on the selection of a set of predefined observation from the given data set. Also, it depends upon the type of analysis which is used under statistical evaluation. So, for making or performing a test statistic, if the data set consists of a huge variety of tuples of records, then we can focus on evaluating the test statistics based upon a sample set of observation from the existing set of tuples of record. So, the major types of sampling that is used in practice are random sampling, systematic sampling, convenience sampling, cluster and stratified sampling. So let's see the definition for each and every type. So in random sampling, each element in the population has an equal chance of occurrence. So the elements are picked up in such a way that every tuple of record gets its chance for evaluation and estimation. And the second type, systematic sampling, which is the process of counting off. Example, numbering of set of tuples of record, and each set of tuples is analyzed based upon the counter values. And the third type is convenience sampling. In convenience sampling, the readily available data will be used. Unless all the tuples of records are get collected, here the data scientist focus on the utilization of readily available data for analysis. At some cases, this may leads to erroneous results. And the next is cluster sampling. So here, based upon the characteristics of tuple of record, the elements are grouped together into clusters. So each element will have an occurrence to be laid off into the cluster based upon certain properties. Upon evaluation, the selected clusters are used for analyzing the performance of test statistic methods. And finally, stratified sampling. So here, the entire population is divided into segments called strata, after which a set of sampling types is used based upon the nature of that data set. So in connection to this, random may be used or cluster may be used for getting good performance and analytical results. So the next is test for hypothesis. So the definition behind statistical modeling focus on the evaluation of a simplified mathematically formalized way to approximate the reality that is happening on the nature of the data set. So with this, the hypothesis generation is defined as a process for determining the assumption, analyzed guess for the given scenario, whereas hypothesis testing is a process to conclude the assumption. So that may be the condition which is set to true or false, or the performance of the data or the performance of the model is statistically significant or not. So for generating the hypothesis testing for a given model, here null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis are derived, and then based upon the characteristics or nature of the test statistic method, one of the hypotheses may be accepted or rejected at certain stage due to the significance level or the value that has been obtained as a result. So let's see an example for a test statistic method. So before that, you have to know about the steps in hypothesis generation. So the first step that you have to focus is defining null and alternate hypothesis. The second step, you have to state the level of significance, the alpha value. The third step, you have to determine the critical value. And the fourth step, drawing test statistics. And finally, deriving conclusion based upon the result for test statistic as observed. So these are the major steps in setting up a hypothesis for a test statistic approach. So among the various methods of test statistic approaches, these are the test methods T, Z, F, and non-parametric test used in practice for analyzing various real-time data in order to get good estimation and approximation and to define the significance level of the test statistic method that is used for evaluating the model. Now, let's see an example test statistic method with an example illustration. So the method that we are going to see here is F-test. So as the definition of this F-test, this is originated by Fisher. It is also called variance ratio test. So as the name it derives, this test is concerned about two variants derived from two samples. So here the F statistic is defined as the ratio of two independent unbiased estimator values. So let's see. Here the formula is defined as F is equal to delta 1 square by delta 2 square, and the value n1 minus 1, the degree of freedom of numerator, and n2 minus 1 is focused with the degree of freedom of denominator. in general, delta 1 square is greater than delta 2 square. The value of F table gives the ratio values with different degrees of freedom and its significant levels. So, the significance degree of freedoms n minus 1 focus on horizontal values, and degree of freedom n2 minus 1 focus on vertical values. As a significant or deriving conclusion, if the F ratio value is smaller than the table value, the null hypothesis H0 is accepted. Okay, so it indicates that the samples are drawn from the same population. So this is the testing case that we are going to identify for the given scenario, and once again I am saying, if the ratio value is smaller than the table value, then the null hypothesis H0 is accepted. If the F value is greater than the table value, then H0 is rejected, deriving the conclusion that the standard deviation of the two populations are not equal. So this is the basic definition behind F-test. Let's see an example problem. So here consider two samples. Sample 1 consists of data 60, 65, 71, 74, 76, 82, 85, 87. And sample 2 64, 66, 67, 85, 78, 88, 86, 85, 63 and 91. First I am setting the hypothesis H0. Both the sample has same variance, and alternate hypothesis H1. Both the sample doesn't have same variance. First I have to determine the value of X bar, that is equal to, for the sample 1, which is 600 divided by the total count of n, that is 8, which I get 75, and the value of Y bar, that is 770 divided by total number of n, that is 10. So here I get 77. So the X bar value is 75 and the Y bar value is 77. Then I am estimating the variance of sample 1, which I get 90.857, and the variance of sample 2 I get 133.3, and finally I am deriving the test statistic as 133.3 divided by 90.857, which I get 1.467, and I am rounding off, I get 1.48. Okay, so here I have to find the table value for F table for 0.05 significant level degrees of freedom. Okay, so the table value that I have found is F for 0.05, that is 3.68. So from this I am deriving the decision that the computed F value from my two population 1.48 is lesser than the table value that I have got for the significant level 0.05 is 3.68. So here the value of F that I have computed is smaller than the value of data that I have observed from the F table for 0.05 significant level. Therefore, I am accepting the null hypothesis and I am concluding the sample 1 and 2 has same variance. So like this, similar case studies can be revealed for handling real-time data in a typical scenario for analyzing whether the given two samples have same level of variance from a derived population. So this is the example that we have seen with F-test. Similarly, you can analyze and explicitly reveal the processing mechanism for other set of test statistic and its implementation level.
Upon summarizing here, we have learnt about what is sampling, how SEM works with respect to the data that we feed, focusing on univariate and multivariate analysis, and how we can generate null versus alternate hypothesis, and what are the possible methods that we can use for test statistics analysis.
Thank you.